Good morning. Welcome to this practice that's intended to offer a little energizing into your body by allowing us really calm and centered start to your day. So it will be a short practice, and you might want a blanket and or a cushion to sit on later. And if you've got a candle, maybe feel free to light that and set a little intention for yourself now for this to be a practice to bring you back to your center and start your day calm, grounded, and energized. And when you're ready, come onto your yoga mat. This is Stevie. She'll be joining us, or maybe she'll leave. Let's see. So on your yoga mats, just take a moment, just come as you are. Maybe you've come out of bed and you're in your pajamas, that's okay. You don't need anything fancy for this now moment to be here in your body. So indeed, feel the hands on the floor. And as you breathe out, bring your bottom back towards your heels, elbows down and head hovering. And when you breathe in, nice and slowly coming forward, push through the tops of the feet. And if that feels okay, a couple more rounds like that with each exhale, drawing your bottom back, head down, and inhale, drawing yourself forward. You just feel free to go at your own pace here, moving back and forward, shifting weight, movement in shoulders and hips, hands and wrists. Making this the last round. When you bring your bottom back towards your heels, maybe big toes to touch. Knees may come a little wider as you rest now in the forward fold. You could bring your head down to the floor, or if it felt better for you, you could bring stacked fists under your head instead. If this is sore for your knees, just feel free to come up. You might prefer to lay on your back and hug your knees in toward your chest. Just take a moment to be here now and feel the stretch in the lower back. You might like to lengthen the arms, push the hands down, fingertips, and feel the stretch in the underarms, rib cage, as well as the back. And then breathe out when you're ready and relax the elbows down. You might offer a little sigh with each exhale for the next 2 or 3 rounds. Ah, a sigh or the sound ah to encourage a release and a relax, a centering and grounding. Ah, just when you're ready. We'll get into some more movement. If you feel like staying here, please feel free. At any time, change the practice so it's useful for you. And come on to your hands and knees again. With your wrists placed underneath your shoulders, spread your fingers wide. See the fingers fanning out from the wrists. When you breathe in, begin to lift your tailbone and stretch your chest forward, looking forward. When you breathe out, begin to tuck your tailbone under, your chin toward your chest, rounding into the back. We'll add to this as you breathe in, raising the tail, stretching the chest forward. And breathing out, push the hands down, round into the back, and then take the bottom back toward the heels. Keep going, push through the feet as you breathe in, raising, coming forward, tail up, chest forward. Turn the toes under, so when you come back through neutral, chin in, you could lift the knees off the floor and push the hands down, your bottom up. Your knees don't have to straighten here. When you're ready, bring the knees back down. Maybe that's the inhale, and raise the tail and draw the chest forward. Tops of the feet to the floor as you exhale, round into the back, and then take the bottom back toward the heels. That's the end of the cycle. Keep going. If you want another round, breathing in to raise the tail, stretch the chest forward. When you breathe out, tuck the toes under, come through neutral, and then knees off the floor, bottom up high. Inhale to bring the knees back down onto the floor. Raise your tail, stretch the chest forward. Release the tops of the feet. So as you exhale, you can take your bottom back towards your heels after rounding the back. I'm going to invite you into a half round now. Just when you're ready, coming back up on the inhale. On the exhale, turning your toes, come through neutral and then lift the knees off the floor. I'm going to invite you to stay here with the knees off the floor, bottom up into the air. You might notice the feeling of stretching in the back of the legs. You could encourage that if you like with the pedaling of your heels up and down. Just taking a moment to feel each heel alternating up and down and stretching in the toes, the feet, the legs. Relaxing the neck maybe with a yes and no nod. And again, if you felt like any time using the sighing or the sound ah, just to encourage a further release and tension. If you like, you could separate the feet. You could take them wide as the mat. And then walk the hands a little further back so you're like in a half dog shape. And with the feet wide, picking up the right hand, take it under the body, take a hold of the left ankle or shin, and just helping to guide the chest out toward that left side for a twist. And then come back with the right hand to the floor and then switch over left hand to the left shin or ankle and pulling through to guide the chest now toward the right side. You could look toward that right underarm or eyes closed. And then bring, again, that hand to the floor. And then walk the hands all the way back and sit your bottom in between the heels in a squat position. Not always accessible. That's okay. If you feel that you need to, you could have the bottom up into the air. Elbows instead could be onto the thighs. So just feel free to be in position that's right for you. It might even be with the feet out in front. You just choose in a squat position, grounding through the heels if possible, or just toward the floor as you raise the chest up. Push the palms in toward each other and the elbows into the inner thighs. Just allowing this moment now. This is a great position to start your day to encourage an opening in your pelvis and maybe even preparation for elimination so that maybe you could go to the toilet after this practice or sometime in the morning. It will encourage that process of elimination. And when you're ready, bring the hands to the floor again and lift your bottom up into the air as you lengthen the legs and heel toe the feet in toward each other. Maybe look to the feet and bring the hands to the shins and inhale, raise the chest forward, tuck the chin in, keep looking down. Open mouth and bend the knees and forward fold when you're ready. And maybe two more, breathing in to raise just a halfway, stretch the chest forward. Open mouth as you breathe out and forward fold. Maybe on this last round as you breathe in, raising. And then sighing as you release. Ah, ah. Let the head be heavy. A yes and no nod of the head. And then shift your weight through to the heels and begin to roll your spine upright. Nice and slow if that feels okay for you. Coming upright when you're ready. And then raising the arms out and up overhead, breathing in, and then down and through the center as you breathe out. Just take a moment at now the top of your mat to come forward. We'll work with a gentle yet warming salute to the sun at the top-ish of your mat. As you breathe out, turn your palms forward. And when you breathe in, reach the arms up and overhead, palms to touch if that's okay. Breathe out and forward fold and bring the hands down through the center to the floor. Breathe in and reach the chest forward again in your halfway lift. And when you're ready, breathe out and take the right leg back with the right knee down onto the floor. And your chest forward on your fingertips with the left knee and ankle align in a lunge position. Just noticing that stretch across the front of the right hip, thigh, maybe the waist, as you push through the left foot and draw the chest forward. On your inhale now. And then as you exhale, bring that left foot back, knees together, and then sit your bottom down. If you want to stay here, please feel free to. Otherwise, breathing in and tuck your elbows in and bring your belly to the floor. Raise your chest and the legs off the floor and tuck elbows in. When you breathe out, release and turn the toes under. Come onto your hands and knees. Either bring your bottom back toward the heels, or if it feels okay, you could bring your bottom up into the air in your downward dog position again. Grounding through the hands, a little bend in the elbows so you can push the floor away. And lifting the sit bones up, feeling the length in your spine. Relaxing your neck, yes or no nod maybe will help. And then walk when you're ready toward the top of the mat. Come on forward and lift up when you're ready to halfway, breathing in. Open mouth maybe with a sigh as you exhale, forward fold. Weight through the heels and raise. Reach your arms out and up overhead. And then when you're ready, exhale to forward fold again. Hands to the floor and raise to halfway as you breathe in. Release as you exhale and take the left foot back. Left knee down. Right foot is forward on your fingertips, and just allow, it takes a bit of time just to allow this heaviness now in the hips drawing down while you stretch now the front of the left thigh. So notice how that feels for you as you push through the right foot. And get a sense also of a stretch in the back of the right thigh. When you're ready, chest forward on the inhale. And as you exhale, right foot can come back. Knees together-ish and sit your bottom through the heels. So again, stay here, especially if you're pregnant or menstruating or just would like a gentle practice. Otherwise, your breath in to tuck the elbows in. Bring the belly down onto the floor. And this time, keep the tops of the feet down. Hands could be under the shoulders as you raise just the chest, tucking elbows in. Each of the 10 toes in contact with the floor, and the kneecaps will have lifted up. This is baby cobra, offering an opening in your chest, strengthening into your back, energizing your whole body, and exhale when you're ready. Bring your chest down. Come onto your hands and knees. You can turn your toes under if you want to come to down dog, or rest if you feel you need to with your bottom to your heels. So whatever that is for you, remember your intention and this moment, your own. Be here and now, feeling the hands, grounding through the floor. The heels toward the floor likewise, while the hips, the sit bones lift up. Walking when you're ready to the top of the mat, or maybe the middle, and walk the hands back toward the feet. And then press the heels down, slowly roll yourself back up to standing. That might involve arms out to the sides as you breathe in, up and overhead, and then down and through the center as you breathe out. And just pause for a moment. And just noticing how your breath, your heart, the heat in the body, how this is all feeling for you now, having shaken that up a little. And just allowing that to return to a natural, calm state. My dog's still here. She's out of frame and she's pulled apart a cushion, excuse me, while I kick that away. So I'm going to invite you to work with your feet now, standing. So when you're ready, have a look down at your feet, maybe at hip distance apart, hands on the hips. You can keep them there if you like, or you could bring the hands in toward the heart. So whatever feels more steady for you. And then as you sway from side to side, find a spot out in front that you could look to that's not moving. And then sway away over toward the right side. And then open the left hip out and place that left heel onto the right ankle. And you could stay here, or you could bring the foot into the calf. If you feel that you need to anytime, just bring the toes back down to the floor for your first variation. Or if you feel like that you'd like to extend yourself, maybe bringing the foot into the thigh, but at any time, take the stable option so that you can be here grounded through that right foot. And imagine that you're growing roots through that right foot down into the earth. Keep the hands close to the body if you feel you need to for your stable base, or raise and reach the arms out to the sides, like the branches of the tree. Reaching out, though pressing down, chest lifting up, crown toward the sky, yet your navel tucking in and a squeezing within the whole waist. If it feels okay, arms up and overhead and then down through the center. And just pause there for a moment before taking now that left foot off and then down onto the floor. And just take a moment maybe with a little shake out, and we'll come back to that swaying from side to side. And then move your way over toward the left side. So shift the weight to the left, opening the right hip this time and the heel to rest on the left ankle so that the toes can stay on the floor, or if that feels okay, foot to calf, or even foot into the inner thigh. Grounding through the left foot this time. Imagine you're growing roots through the left foot into the earth, while the crown of the head and the chest lifts up. The navel tucks in, and if you want to work with the balance, with the arms out to the sides, just feel free. Reaching the arms like the branches of a tree. And then back up and overhead, down and through the center. And then lift that right knee, breathing in, and then ground that right foot to the floor and just feel it. Grounding down. Body stable, strong in its center base. And you can release the hands and maybe offer a little sway from side to side. So just feel free to move anywhere that you need to so that you're not swinging into walls or anything else. And then offering, if you like, with the feet just at hip distance or a bit broader, and the knees soft, a little bend in the knees to continue swaying just gently, especially if you've got a sore back. It might be just a gentle twist for you today. Or it might be that the arms get a little more vigorous, moving out to the sides. And if you do have a sore back, and if you need to, you could lift the alternate heel as you go from side to side. And so just, again, making this really unique and appropriate for you. A couple more rounds. Might even be that you worked with a cup in the hand that comes to the front, onto the inner shoulder, and a fist into the part of the hand that comes into the kidneys at the back. When you're ready, you can cease the movement by slowing down and just take a moment to pause and feel the vibration and energy in the body that's still moving, yet you're still. You might feel that in the floating of the arms, the tingling and warmth in the hands, chest, back, whole body. Come to the top of the mat when you're ready. Palms facing forward as you breathe out, and breathe in to raise arms out and up overhead. Bring the hands down and through the center as you forward fold again. And inhale to lift up to halfway. When you breathe out, stepping both feet back into your downward facing dog again. So just taking a moment here to be in your downward facing dog. Turning upside down is a really good way to flush the brain with fresh oxygenated blood. And that can help to revitalize and encourage your sense of reawakening. Bring the knees down when you feel ready. And then take your feet out to one side and your bottom onto the floor. And come onto the floor. We can begin a cool down now, with an option, if you need to sit on the blanket or roll up the back of the mat and sit on that. Or if it feels okay for you, just coming straight onto the yoga mat with your feet together and the knees bent. So you might start with the knees bent, feet out in front, and then open the knees out. Take a hold of the ankles or maybe the feet, whatever feels right for you. If you have sore knees, it might be that you work with the feet further out in front, or if it's okay, drawing the heels in toward the groin. So feeling that stretch on the inner thigh. Hands onto the shins or the ankles, and begin to feather the knees up and down. So if you're feeling with overextension in the hips, maybe you're super flexible in the hips, you might not bounce too much here. You might even just squeeze the soles of the feet in toward each other so that you're encouraging more stability. Got all this fluff around now. And if it feels okay and you're still bouncing, you could continue to do that and maybe even get a little vigorous with that, encouraging the energy, the life force in the hips, the pelvis, the space of the spine. You might like to close the eyes down and feel the breeze of air as a result of the bouncing of the knees. And then when you're ready, discontinue. Cease the movement. But yet again, noticing the bioelectricity still moving, alive, vibrant in the hips, the pelvis, legs, maybe the lower back. Like you could stay here or lift the chest as you breathe in, and then maybe a little gentle lean forward, but you don't have to. Please, if you have any pain or the sort of discomfort that takes away from the deep, slow, calm breath, please just come back upright. Otherwise, with a little bit more of a lift as you breathe in, and then maybe a little bit more of a lean, just as an option. As you lean, you might take a hold of the feet. You might even take the elbows onto the calves and encourage the knees down toward the floor. Maybe you relax the head and let it be floppy. And then come back up when you're ready. And give the hands onto the outer edges of the thighs or knees. Bring the feet together and come and sit upon your cushion. Invite you to come and sit upon your cushion. If you have a blanket and you're feeling cold, you might like to bring your blanket like a shawl over your shoulders. I'm going to work with a twist before a pranayama. So breathing in to raise the chest, and then take the right hand to the left thigh, the left hand behind you, just to offer a little twist. That might be just where you stay here, or it could be as you breathe in to raise the chest, and then exhale to turn a little further out toward the left side. You might take care if you've got a sore neck by bringing the head back to the center. Or we might encourage that turn of the neck as a rotation all the way into the top of the spine. And then coming back when you're ready, and we'll switch over. So your left hand onto the opposite thigh, your right hand behind you, and you could just simply pause here, or raise as you breathe in, and then turn a little further out to that right side. Let the breath be full. Eyes may close down. Take your last breath in this shape of twist, and then come back to the center when you feel ready. Maybe a little shimmy of the shoulders, a shake of your hair or your head, and just find your middle ground now, where you can be with some comfort and ease. So feel free to change anything now so that you are indeed with comfort and ease. And if you like, you could stay here, observing the parts of the body that are in contact with the floor. The base of the spine, the tailbone, moving awareness one vertebrae at a time up the tailbone, up from the tailbone into the lower back, middle back, upper back, and the neck. And as you breathe in, raise the crown of the head up and feel the length in the spine, though still with the natural curve. Just softening the shoulders and the face, perhaps the jaw. And observing now your body breathing all on its own. You don't need to do anything. Simply observe the body breathing. That might be where you stay. Continue to observe the body breathing naturally if that's most appropriate for you. Or if it feels okay, a practice today of Nadi Shodona, cleansing and clearing the energy channels. I'm going to offer this with the use of the hands. So if it feels okay for you, bring your preferred hand toward the face and point the first two fingers into the space between the eyebrow center. You can bring the ring finger to one side of the nose, the thumb to the other side of the nose, and just relax as you breathe freely through both sides. In a moment, I'll guide you to press into alternate nostrils as you breathe, and I'll work with you and you can follow along through the first few rounds and then find your own way if it feels okay for you. You can visualize this practice instead. It's very effective to do that. So if you feel discomfort for any reason with the hand to the face, you might choose to just imagine the alternate nostril breathing. So make any changes that you need to. And then freely breathing together on the inhale now, breathing in. And then breathing out together, both nostrils. Now cover the right side as you breathe in through the left side only. And then open the right, cover the left, and breathe out through the right side. Breathing in through the right side. Open left, cover right, and breathe out through the left side. So that's one round complete. Breathing in through the left side. Open right, cover left, breathe out through the right side. Breathing in through the right. Open left, cover right, breathe out through the left side. 2 rounds. Keep going on your own, breathing in through the left, and just at your pace, go out through the right. When you're ready, you'll go in through the right and then out through the left. And on your own now, please feel free to guide yourself for a few more rounds, just at the pace that feels right for you. This does not need to be deep, long breath. Just whatever is feeling natural for you to sustain for a few more rounds. Allowing your body to relax while maintaining length in the spine, your crown of the head lifting up, shoulders, face, relax. Might like to add an intention here for this cleansing and clearing of the energy channels to offer a sense of balance and ease. You can keep going if you like, or make this your last round of breath cycling. When you exhale through the left side again, you will be even, and you can remove that hand away from the face and just rest wherever that is comfortable for you, and observing any changes as your breath finds its natural pace, changes in the body, breath, mind, mood. All of these things interrelated together. And yet there's part of you that's separate to each of these qualities and observes like a witness. Accessing that witness awareness. You might choose to stay where you are or recline so that you can lay down on your back. You can choose now how you would like to spend these next few minutes, I'm going to suggest 5 minutes in either a seated or reclined position, making your choice and changing now. Maybe there's comfort and warmth needed for you to be able to rest. Making any last changes to your position, comfort and warmth now, so that you can remain with stillness. Return to that part of you that is able to observe your experience of the body, breathing. If it feels okay to stay with the breath, I invite you to observe each cycle of breath, an in and out breath. And you might like to count each cycle of breath, counting from 0 up to 10. If breath awareness is not feeling right for you today, you could instead observe the sounds or silence within the room and outside of the room. Either way, there's nothing here to do, but recognizing the mind may want to wander off into thought. The single point of focus, be that breath or sound, may help avoid your wandering mind. If you've forgotten the count, you might like to return to that now. If you reach 10, you might like to start again. You can discontinue your count now and bring awareness to your body and its position on the mat and in the room. You might like to notice how the breath may have changed and become a little more subtle and deep. And you could encourage the breath if you like, breathing down to the fingers and toes, arms and legs. You could offer a little movement likewise, encouraging your reawakening if you are ready to move. Feel free to stay where you are if that feels appropriate for you, or begin to reawaken again with a stretch. Maybe you place the feet to the floor and roll over to the side. You could bring a hand to the floor and help yourself back up. And just take a moment to acknowledge your effort to be here today. And you might like to move toward a journal practice from here. One of those that's recommended is a gratitude practice in the morning, when we can start the day with something that's positive, bright, and hopeful. Those qualities are more likely to be able to follow you through the day. So if that feels resonant to you, I'll invite you to work with your journal now, or take yourself into the day in any way that's meaningful for you. Thank you for practicing with me.